Hello YouTube, welcome back to my casa, the unholy trinity of weed, beans, and cheese. It's been a little bit. I haven't felt called to make a video in a while. I've had topics I've wanted to bring up, but nothing specifically where I was like, I need to make a video, I need to record right now. So I haven't. I finished Attack on Titan, which is something I put off for a long time because I didn't want it to be over, but I finally did it about, I want to say, 2 weeks ago. Today is, I don't remember today's date, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't, but I believe it was about 2 weeks ago, give or take. And I felt kind of changed. I was like, just the amount of thought put into the plot and the way the time is set up in it reflects to me, I think, how Eren sees time is how time really is. Because for a while, I've thought time, we see it mostly, or at least we're taught in school at the beginning of our lives, that it is a straight line. I remember even in elementary school, we did a interactive science thing where you let out a line and we went to the hallway and we spread it all the way across the hallway and we put down cards for different time periods with the date on them for when this happened and when this happened. And that's just not true. Time is a circle. Everything happens at the same time. Our brains can just only perceive so much at once, so we see things at once. We go through it as a line, but it's a circle and we're circulating, which changes how basically the entire world works once you realize that. And like, even now I'm like, I tried to write out a script about my full thoughts on Attack on Titan as a whole and its ending, and it just didn't work because I don't think that's how I'm supposed to do this. I'm not the type of YouTuber that writes out a script and reads it to you really animatedly. I'm just supposed to talk to you guys, so I'm just gonna talk to you guys. I do kind of want to look at that, see part of what I came up with. Don't mind the sound, it's my paint. I'm working on my wall some more, finally. You can't really see the line work, but there's some stuff going on. Hi Mom. No. I've also been doing a lot of dream journaling lately. My dreams have become so much more clear, and the more clear they are, the more I write about them or audibly talk about them to someone, usually my brother or one of my friends. Let's see. Holy. I'm just gonna read the first statement of this. It says, I am an Eren supporter. Hate me if you need to off that statement, but I am an Eren supporter. I support what he was trying to do and why. And he knows he's not an all-knowing being. He's not the best. He wasn't chosen for a reason. It's just how it happened. He sees himself as just a normal village idiot that was given these powers, and he did what he wanted to with them. And that's how the world works with a lot of people. Cough, cough, our president. Who said that? He had access to seeing how everything would lay out and how he already has things laid out. He knew what he was going to do before he did it, and all he had to do was keep on. He wasn't worried about saving himself. He wasn't worried about how he was seen, except for in parts where it was literally helpful to what he was trying to do. And I'm trying to talk about this without spoiling much, but yeah, you can only do that to such an extent. Especially the first opening statement about time. He literally, you'll feel what I'm putting down, and you're picking it up. He wanted to save his friends, and that's his father. No, it wasn't his father. It was the guy that gave the power to his father. I believe Grisha. It's hard for me to keep up with some of their names because I'm like, what name is this? But Grisha The guy that gave Grisha his things, he's like, I just have this deep feeling. We have to save Eren. We have to save Mikasa and... Wow, I'm blanking right now. Mikasa and Armin. We have to save Mikasa and Armin. And they're not born yet. Where they're standing, they're not born yet. Because they're friends of Eren, who is the child of Grisha, who hasn't had Eren yet. And it's just... The whole show is about the truth of giants, and the truth of time, and the truth of human nature. Those are the three things that it covers and talks about throughout every part, and those are undeniable facts. Really? Meow? Meow. Okay, girl. And... Is your paw okay? Did I see that right? Let me see your paw. Sorry, my kitty... I'm pretty sure I watched her do something to her paw earlier, and she's kind of walking different, so I'm a little worried, but we're gonna get her to the vet. Sorry, I'm gonna read some of this. Let's start where the life does. The Haluko Vemia. I pronounced that super botched, apologies. It's the worm of life being. It's the source. It is source in their universe. It's a little worm that kind of looks like fish bones. It's all living matter. I don't even want to read this. Like, I literally... Eyes, smoke, and mirrors. That'll be important later. Yeah, I'm not reading anymore if that's you guys. I don't want to use a script. This isn't a script place. This is a real place. What else have I been writing about? Because I do like to share my journal entries with you guys from time to time, you know. Just the real feelings and thoughts and just realness. This says, decide against the agency. I can do it myself as I have been. Ew, little hair flew onto my lip gloss. That's unsavory. Don't love that. I was on set for my first movie. Very, very exciting, but I can't talk about it yet because they haven't released trailers yet, but Helms, yeah. And it was so much fun and full of so many amazing people. I'm just really grateful for the experience and the start of that part of my life, because that is not going to be my last by far. But when I was on set, there were two people there that belonged to an agency, and I was like, yeah, I want that. I want to be put out there by someone that isn't just me, having someone to stick up for me because they like my potential. So I went to the audition. You know, I waited for the callback because they said they only call back if they're interested in you and your talent. And I had to wait 3 days, and I waited, and I got that call. And then they told me about how much it costed, which I swear it didn't say on the paper until after I re-looked at the paper after seeing the cost. And I'm just like, this is not lovely, but it's doable. And me and my mom decided we're still going to do it. And then I was just thinking, I was like, I don't want to do this if I'm not the one paying for it. I don't want it to be another part of my future that I'm building that relies on someone else. I don't want that at all. And also, I thought about some of their policies, and like one of them is every job you book through us, we will be having 20% of the pay. Which makes sense, right? They want to get paid for the work they're helping you get. That's their work. And then I remembered, I found out about them on a job with two people, on a job that I booked for myself. And now, one of them I became very close friends with, but I'm not going to say names on here. You know, I don't really like to do that. But that's also why I didn't say the exact name of which agency it was, just in case, you never know. But me and her became pretty cool, and she signed with them. We were playing the same role. We did some of the parts together. We had the exact same amount of hours. So we'll be getting paid the same amount, right? But she booked it through them. So even though she did the same amount of work as me, she's getting 20% less pay. And that thought made me realize I don't want this even more. So I canceled that. I can do it because I've been doing it, and that's where I'm at with that. Let's read about one of my dreams. This one was it was strange, but I enjoyed it. And then there's a picture at the end of the dessert that is talked about in it. Just a little, because it looked so posh and like delicious. It looked like one of the like glazed dome things they make on, it was one of those, I think it's called the Greatest British Baking Show. Possibly, I could be getting it wrong. Or one of the like, it wasn't Cupcake Wars, it wasn't Cake Wars, but it was in a place that was built similarly, because whatever. I'm just gonna read this. Last night, my dream, I was in a specific house I didn't recognize, and there were secret fancy desserts hidden in the back of the fridge by the door. I was about to maybe eat that. I'd been staring at it for a while. There was a guy that looked like my Anand's Mr. John laying across this couch opposite from that fridge. It seemed we were all avoiding or trying to stop him from getting up. The lighting was the same as in one of my downstairs rooms. It was like, so it's very orange and like kind of like midday kind of lighting, you know? Like the light bulbs are old, but they'll still be working for a while. Yeah. I think he made the sweets, but we all had an unspoken pretense that he destroys all his best masterpiece sweets, which is why we wanted to keep him from them. He also looked like Sully from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Aside, because I've always thought they looked similar. If you're a family member watching this, you know exactly who I'm talking about. If you've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you know who I'm talking about. So either way, and now you can look him up, so if you're curious. Aside from us, the room was full of people, no faces stuck out. I was like, what do you mean no faces? As I read it, I'm like, they definitely had faces, because I've had some dreams where people were faceless, and this was not that vibe of dream at all. At all. No. Full of people, no faces stuck out that I remember, and I didn't really recognize any of them, but in the dream they all seemed like close, loud family, and I had no urge to question any of it. Pausing there, because also one of my friends reminded me recently, like, the subconscious mind, I don't know, I didn't fact check it, but I believe it, and I feel like I've heard it somewhere else before too, but the subconscious mind can't create brand new faces. So whoever these people were, I have seen them before, whether they're people I'm close with or people I haven't seen in a long time, or even just like a stranger I saw at a Quick Trip or an Olive Garden. You never know where it gets them from, but it got them from somewhere. It can't create full new people. Only the womb can do that, baby. Unpause. Like it was the norm and a common occurrence. There was a dark stallion of a man there too that wasn't family. He wasn't dark literally as much as it was more like his aura, you know? Like, he gave Jason Momoa to me. He really, besides the point. Maybe not besides the point. Or someone really fine from a novel okay, so that's exactly the point I'd read. Also, I just want to say while I'm reading this, I don't remember what I wrote. I kind of hardly remember writing this. Like, I remember drawing the dessert, but I don't really remember writing this. But I know I had the dream, and I remember talking about the dream, so I don't know. My brain does things like that sometimes. I and everyone else, for some reason, were not supposed to eat his desserts either. I don't know what that says. But I kept staring at them like I was about to take it and eat it anyways, because I knew how good it would be. This was after I had been in front of the... Starting to think he's called Charlie. So I think the guy was called Charlie. The guy that looked like Sully from Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Mr. John. Charlie. And people were holding him from me like I was teasing him and was about to get my ass beat if they let him go. Picture of the dessert. The way I drew it, it kind of looks like an apple, but the thing on top that could be mistaken as like the leaf of an apple or like a green macaroni noodle or like elbow noodle, is more in the dream. It was kind of like those gold things they just lay across to make it real zhazhazhou, and it was just like so glossy. I feel like you crack it with a spoon like you do, what's it called, creme brulee. No, I want that, need that, craving that. Ooh. Anyways, also now looking at this as I'm drawing it, I remember the fridge was very old-fashioned, like the one in one of my close friends' grandpa's basement bar, but not like soda themed like his, just very cute and oldie. Also, the couch Charlie was laying on was more of like a reclined lazy boy chair that was laying across sideways. He was saying something, but I cannot pin his voice. End of dream log. Oh, and then this is just like, right? Sorry, my brain went to like 3 different places just then, and you only heard 2 of them out loud, and they did not combine very smoothly. But I don't know, I just found that very interesting, and I feel like it means something. And I also had finished watching the newest season of The Bear not long before whichever night I had this dream, so that might be part of it. Because I also I see a lot of parts of the white side of my family in the Bear family, so I was just kind of like, it matches, it fits. But yeah, and here's a little rhyme I just thought of. I don't remember what I was doing, but comfy, cozy, my feet up and my cheeks a little rosy. And then it just says, go beyond plus ultra, because I started rewatching My Hero Academia from the beginning, because, I don't know, I stopped halfway through when it was coming out in middle school, and it was one of my favorites, and then it's another thing, I never finished it. That used to be a very common thing for me. I'm trying to go back and finish all the ones, though, that I was super, super loving. But yeah, and it's just so uplifting. I love how Midoriya's brain works. They're literally on TV in a stadium fighting to be noticed by different agencies for heroes that'll take them under their wing, show them the ropes, show them how real and scary but important their work is that they do. And instead of focusing on winning his match, what is he doing? He's noticing little tidbits about his classmate that probably speaks like the least in the class, Todoroki, or as Bakugo would say, icy hot. Love him. Love both of them. Love all 3 of them. Instead of trying to gain this clout amongst the pro heroes, he's trying to fix Todoroki's daddy issues, basically, and mommy issues without unknowingly, and make him realize we're all here putting in 110% going on plus ultra because we want to be at the top, and you don't deserve the top place that you're trying to go for if you're only giving it 50. Wah, wah, wah. Magical. Wisdom on 100. I love how Midoriya's brain works. I kind of want to go back further than any of this. I feel like there was something else. Oh, here's a little drawing I did. I was looking at my cat and I was thinking about stuff. I don't know. That's what I had. I enjoyed it. I don't want to read that dream. Yeah, kind of weird. Y'all need to watch or rewatch if you have. Most of you probably have, but just that Atlantis movie on Disney Plus from Disney. What's it called exactly? Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Watch it, feel it, preferably get high while you do so, and just really That's all I can say. Because it had me thinking a lot of things and realizing a lot of things that I don't really want to put on here. Because I want all my videos to stay up. Because one of them was taken down. And I was kind of like, well, I thought, and I learned. But, what's someone I wrote down after watching? Oh, that's just list for things I needed to do. Wow. My self-talk has just gotten really so good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, really? My journal has gotten so much more positive. I don't even realize most of the things I write until I go back and realize, oh, I wrote this shit. Here, I finished reading through I'm already forgetting the name. My brain just does that sometimes. Let's hop up here. Where's the book? That's the Giver. It's the Ballad of the Songbirds and the Snake. I actually don't know what I did with it, which kind of worries me, but I probably just did something silly, and I will absolutely find out within the week if I remember to look. That is. But it was the first book in Maya Angelou's autobiographies collection, you know. Now I know why the cage bird sings something. That's something of what the name of it is. You know it. It's a classic. It's very famous. You know what book I'm talking about. I know you do. But there are some quotes I have written down in it that I really, really enjoyed. This one is a quote from Maya Angelou's mother. I've told you many times, can't do is like don't care. Neither of them have a home. Meaning, there is nothing a person can't do, and there should be nothing a human being doesn't care about. I agree. I really can say nothing, but I really agree. Here's another one from Maya Angelou. Without willing it, I had gone from being ignorant of being ignorant to being aware of being aware. The worst part of my awareness was that I didn't know what I was aware of. The worst part of my awareness is that I didn't know what I was aware of. That statement sums up the whole beginning of my spiritual journey for me. So I really was just like, oh, my heart. You're gripping it, you're dipping it and stuff. You're dipping it in all the things. All the things. I think there's one more. Ooh, I'm getting headaches right in this space. Specifically, right now. Ow. Probably end this soon after this. Okay. To be left alone on the tightrope of youthful unknowing is to experience the excruciating beauty of full freedom and the threat of eternal indecision. Wowie, wow. That made me think about some shit I went through 2 years ago, and I'm still thinking about this week especially because my 2 years sober off of some really bad stuff is tomorrow, actually. So now I do know what day it is. Today is September 8th because tomorrow's September 9th. My 2 years sober with one of my best friends. Tomorrow's about us, Bookie. Love you if you're watching this. Love you, girl. L-O-V-E-R. I'm gonna just read that out to you one more time because I'm really like... To be left alone on the tightrope of youthful unknowing is to experience the excruciating beauty of full freedom and the threat of eternal indecision. Without that moment, my life would be so different, but I'm so happy for where I am, so I wouldn't change a thing, and it's not my place to try to anyways, but oh. Wow. Well, my head was everywhere. I can just tell looking at these notes. I'm not going to hold this up long so y'all can read it, but like, just like, brain was braining. Huh. Something about Vermont. Has anyone here been thinking about Vermont or have any plans to go to Vermont? I don't know. That came to me, and I know that it wasn't mine. That thought. You guys experience that ever? You have thoughts and you know they're not yours. You're just hearing them. Sometimes I think they're from people in my household or my neighbors or just people whose spirit is very powerful and therefore that much more loud to where I can interpret it within myself, but I don't know. Your voice is always your voice in your head. You can't change your voice, but I sometimes, when different things are speaking in my head, there's a color to the voice. It's my voice, but there are different colors around it. And my voice is most often orange, but there's a lot of blue and purple that comes in, not really a lot of red anymore. It's not much red anymore at all, actually, but yellows and just, if that makes sense, say something about it, because I'd love to hear it. I really would. I've been wondering about that. Also, if there's anyone with feeling the specific number 5197 or 51971, that number came to me in threes. Don't know what it's for. Don't think it's mine. If it is, I'll know when it's time. Oh, here's a little belly cleanse recipe. It was sent to me by someone on Facebook who I won't be saying. Trying not to be bitter. So sorry. 1 garlic clove, 1 lime worth of juice, cayenne pepper, and warm water. First, grind the garlic into a paste. Mix it in the remaining ingredients and take it like a shot. Throw it back, baby. Clink and tap. You know the vibes. I've been, during different moon phases and sun phases, did I really just say sun phases? You know what I mean. I've been bringing out my boy and girl cat out. I've been trying to bring my boy cat out during the day to see the sun. And I bring her out too because everybody needs them vitamins. But like really touch grass, I've been trying to bring her out during only specific moon phases to like take it in and feel the grass and just feel the moon and anything she has to offer her, because you never know, everyone's on their own journey. Just because we don't really know what cats be thinking about, it don't mean they ain't thinking. And you know, the sun is kind of male and the moon is kind of female, and like the sun runs on a 24-hour cycle like men run on a 24-hour cycle, and the moon runs on a 28-day cycle like women run on a 28-day cycle. Cough cough, periods, if you didn't realize what I was kind of talking about there. And how men don't have periods, but they have a cycle that their body still goes through emotionally and chemically and any other ways. I'm not a man, so if you got more on that, again, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I'm a curious girl. Curious girl. I also made a new rule for myself. It's no smoking of the marijuana after 2 a.m. It's just good for the body, and I want to make sure it was something about my dreams. I don't want to fully share that, but just like, if any part of that made anything click for you and you're like, yeah, I shouldn't do that, or I should do that too, go ahead and trust, because the first thing you think is often right, unless you're coming from a place of anger, in which case I'd say think it over 5 times. Think it over 5 times. Yeah, that says something about something I need to deal with that I just read that kind of reclocked my IT, because I started working towards that. I reopened that book with that person, and I keep falling back again and going back in and falling back again, because he just makes it so hard. Because we're so similar, and I don't really like that at all. And he's not in a self-aware, or at least to me it doesn't seem as though he's self-aware in a way that makes him realize most of the things he gets upset with me for are things he does himself. I'm mirroring this person, and they can't stand it. And it makes me want to tell them, well, then sit down. But we sat down and turned away for about between 3 and 5 years. I don't know exactly how long it is off the top of my head, but it was 3 to 5 years, and that's a long time for someone that's supposed to have a certain role, you know? So it's been very hard, but I'm gonna try again today, because the last time we spoke was about 3 days ago. And then I was kind of like, all right, you're doing the most. I can't deal with this right now. I have plans I'm supposed to already be getting ready for. Then I did that. My people came over and we went to the spot. And I didn't have my ID on me, like a goof. I didn't think to grab it. It's like the first time this has happened to me. And so one of my lovelies Ubered me back home while they stayed out and did their thing. And I don't know. I took that as redirection. I was honestly really surprised at how not angry I was, or not upset I was, or like, I didn't really have this sense of FOMO. I was just like, all right, guess I ain't supposed to. Turned on my show, got really into it. It was My Hero Academia. I was like, wow, just wow. I was wowed. Every episode wows me. Not every episode. Almost every episode wows me. Not to say there are episodes that are like, I mean, no show is at 100 every single episode, or there'd be no rise and fall to make you feel the feels, so I get that. But yeah. I've also been dancing again. I'll forever think of myself as a dancer, but sometimes I'm hard on myself, and it's hard for me to see myself that way because I'm no longer on a competitive team. I quit earlier than I thought I would have to for personal reasons, and I don't spend as much time doing it as I used to, and I know how beneficial it is for me, so it makes me feel like I'm doing myself a disservice. So I have been, just feeling it out, dancing to all the different kinds of music I listen to again. And I posted one of my improvs on my Instagram story just for the fun of it, just because free will, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna hate on me? Who am I gonna let hate on me is a better way to put that. Because people can think and feel however they want to, but do I have to give any energy to that response? No. Which is another thing I've learned through a not very calm interaction I had the other day with the parent of one of my close friends that had me just really upset and feeling a lot of feelings the past few days. And I've re-spoken with my mom about it because she was there. I'm not going to say nothing about no relationships because I don't want people that aren't a part of it to come here to put puzzle pieces together on things that simply aren't their business. But this is my platform to speak on the things I feel, and that's the main thing I've been feeling things about since it happened. So, but I've come to peace with it, finally. Didn't think that would happen so soon, wanted it to happen sooner. Happy it did when it did. And it also reminds me how my energy also affects other people. And like, someone got punished that didn't do anything because of what I did, and because the person that I angered has no power over me. They punished this person instead, which is so unfair. But I don't know how to fix it without making it worse. I don't want to do nothing, but that seems to be how they handle it. So I don't want to make anything worse for anybody, so I'm just gonna try to leave it be. But I kept saying I was gonna have a deep conversation with her about it after I calmed down. There's no way to be calm while talking about it. So I don't know. They're a lot older than me. They're one of my elders per se, and sometimes you just gotta take the L, knowing that it's not your L. I know I wasn't wrong, but I didn't respond helpfully. We were also both intoxicated, so we weren't exactly rational. at all. But I don't know. A lot of emotions had been going through that night, and then for them to come through and just start throwing all these emotions at us that were honestly about her relationship and not about what we had done, because we hadn't really done much of anything. I didn't accept it, because if it's not my fault, why are you putting it on me? And then she reiterated that by, it's not her fault, it's my fault, why are you putting it on her? And it just kind of left me spiraling until I could nitpick every piece apart of it. She doesn't need to understand how I feel because she doesn't want to, and that's okay. But the relationship will probably be a little different now, which is also kind of nerve-wracking to me because the four of us are going on a vacation in less than 2 weeks, just the four of us. But I mean, things should be fine by then. If I'm cool now, and it's been 3 days, almost 2 whole weeks, like, if she ain't chilling by then, shawty, that ain't none of my business. I'm not about to let you ruin my vacay. Especially with the amount of vacays they go on, compared to how many I go on, I'ma live it up. I'ma enjoy myself. I haven't gone on a vacation in like a year or two. Yeah. I mean, I've gone on camping trips and stuff, but like leaving the country or the state, it's different. Or I guess I have left the state in the past 2 years, but I haven't left the country in the past 2 years. So I'm like, this is my kind of vacation. It can't be ruined. It's not possible to ruin it. The only thing that gives me anxiety is the take back, because St. Louis is just a very low vibrational state or city, whatever, my bad. And the last time I had fully left the country and came back by plane, the way of re-entering it so quickly all at once and feeling it just hit my soul, I literally started crashing out on the plane. And my brother and my mom, they couldn't stand me, and I couldn't stand that they couldn't feel it, and I felt like I was being blamed for being the only one reacting. But they were just so much more worried about people seeing my reaction than wondering what I was reacting to, which also kind of hurt me. I was like, y'all pay attention to the most unimportant parts of each situation. So that really threw me. We fought the rest of the plane ride, and when we got off, I was literally yelling at the top of my lungs through this airport, and all she could think about is the embarrassment. Why do you care about what these background characters think of us? They don't know our names. They don't know anything except for this, which they don't even know what we're arguing about. So why do their opinions matter more than mine? That's how I saw it. I don't see it like that now, but in that moment, I saw it as you're choosing to wonder about strangers' opinions and emotions instead of your daughter's opinions and emotions, instead of your sister's opinions and emotions. And that's not okay. That's a problem. That said, screaming my head off at them in a public forum that was clearly making them so uncomfortable because they both have anxiety definitely isn't a way to fix that. So we all had a hand to play in that cookie and how burnt it got, to be real. Apologies to their past selves. A little grace and pat on the back to past me, though, for holding my ground and just saying what I was honestly thinking, no matter how much backlash it was getting me. To this day. Because I do that even more now. Because moments like that, they used to stop me from speaking my truth again for long periods of time, to the point where it would just come out in bursts, so it was never seen for what it was supposed to be, and took away from the point of the things I would actually be saying. If you're always at 100, no one listens to your 50. No one listens to your 27% type thing, you know? Now I try to stay at a 50 to 75, but still always completely honest. I don't sugarcoat unless it's the only way that someone will hear the point I'm trying to make. If I can say it how I'm truly thinking it, that's always the most optimal option. But if I know the person can't meet me where I'm at and I want them to hear what I'm saying, sometimes you just have to take a step down and let them hear you where they are, so that it makes sense and so that they can take in the information and make changes if that's part of why you're speaking to them, or just understanding, really just for understanding. And that's been a big part of what I've been thinking about, because also with the issue I was talking about a moment ago with this friend of mine and my mother's, I was so angry at her, and I responded the same as her. I was angry about how she handled the situation, and I did just about the same thing, except for without throwing blame to others because of not having power over others. But we were at the same tone. My excuse kept being, and I purposefully used the word my excuse, or words, my excuse. I gave her the energy that she gave me. But I got to that level because I recognized the energy she was giving me I didn't deserve. So why am I matching her energy if it's not right? Then I'm not right. Because I'm following a lead that I don't, in that moment, I didn't respect. I was following a lead I didn't want to associate with. And I realized that yesterday. I was making my ramen. I was talking to my brother. And I was just like, I don't want my anger to be seen the way her anger is. I just don't. And some people might already, and I can't change that. Or maybe I can, but I'm not going to put extra energy into it. Because, I don't know, other people's opinions aren't what matter. But they don't not matter. You know? I hope that wasn't too much like an oxymoron. It just really... Perspective, guys. Perspective. It's hard to not speak from a place of anger when everything about a situation makes you angry. It's hard to take a step back while you're still right there. If I take a step back, am I ignoring my emotions? Am I ignoring the people in front of me? Am I ignoring the chance to level? But if I step into it and I say everything I'm meaning and I do all of this, am I blowing things out of proportion without realizing? Am I being the same as what I'm trying to counteract? Am I doing everything I'm yelling at them for? Am I being a hypocrite? You know? It's just been deeply on my mind. Also, I'm still so sorry for these being so choppy. I haven't had the time or the chance, or honestly, I just haven't prioritized getting a camera for this, so I do still record my videos on Snapchat. It stops every 3 minutes, and I just try to pick up where I left off smoothly as possible. So, you gotta bear with me, bear. Oh, bear with me, bear. Y'all listen to Tiana Taylor. I love her. If you don't, I recommend starting it, especially if you like new R&B and soul music. That's kind of what she brings, in my opinion. And she's also dabbling in movies now. So if you saw that Tyler Perry movie that was like super heart-wrenching, that had I should know this actress's name by now, but I'll always in my head, it's Cookie from Empire. Cookie from Empire in this Tyler Perry film has a daughter with illness, and she needs specific things, and their money is tight, so she frets about it. And the whole movie, she's just trying to figure out for her daughter, and there's this whole moment in the bank. Basically, the whole thing is about the moment in the bank and the realization about her daughter at the end. I'm trying to explain it without spoiling it, because I don't like spoiling things. There's no point in watching it anymore. There is, because details, but if you know, you're less held, you know. So I definitely don't want to spoil anything. But you know, she looks very distressed throughout the whole movie, and Tiana Taylor plays one of the detectives that's trying to talk her through it on the other line outside of the bank as things are going down. And I also saw her in a preview for a different movie that's going on that's also very action. I didn't mean to say also, because I mean, who she was playing is someone you know that normally takes action, but she didn't. Ow, I bit my tongue a little. Like one specific bud. Does that ever happen to y'all? You'll like nip just the tip of your tongue and you feel literally the one little ball of taste bud getting pulled and then coming back. I imagine that's what like little grape juice from My Hero Academia, the little pervy grape boy, when he throws his little head balls and it sticks to something and someone tries to pull it up, that how that looks is how that feels for me, if that makes sense. I hope that was good imagery. But yeah, damn, what was I talking about? Tiana Taylor's role. Since she's playing a detective slash cop, you know, it's a role where, you know, in that job that she's playing, she normally takes action. So in this other one that I saw her in a trailer for, she's like actually up in it. You know, there's a scene of her running, they have her abs on display. I've always thought she had the physique of a goddess. Oh, I need to look up if she's ever dropped the workout, because if she's dropped the workout, first of all, I need to stretch heavily because I'm still so sore from my workout the other day, and that was the day before yesterday, and I'm still so sore. And I know better. I know to stretch before. They taught you it in gym class. They teach you that in the dance studio. They teach that. You know that. It's in there. And I know better, so I need to do better. So I'm going to do better. Period. The end. But I will stretch heavily and then do that workout if she's dropped it. And if not, I'm going to just flood her comments with, drop the workout. Drop the workout. We want the workout. Share with the loves. Bring it here. Right now. Please and thank you. But yeah. That's where I'm at, guys. Trying to reconnect to all my creative outlets. Trying to think about how I show up in the world. Who I need to apologize to. Who I know I want apologies from, but probably won't get, so I need to accept. And just being there close for my family. I had a lot of good moments with the fam today. Just me, mama, and bro down in mama's room. We were watching Dead Rising 2, classic. It's like really campy, you know. It's new. And I'm so jealous that my mom got to watch that as an 80s kid when it was fresh out. I think it was from the 90s. I wasn't there. I don't know for sure what year it came out, but some of it is just so like unserious. They meant it seriously, but seeing the horror that I grew up with, I can't take it seriously. And every time once his hand was cut off, I just kept making parallels to Thing, because I watched the new season of Wednesday on Netflix. Shout out to Ken. Thank you for I said his name. Oops. Well, sorry. But shout out to Homeboy that I met on set. Thank you for the Netflix. Needed that. Even though it was so I would start watching Supernaturals, which I have been doing. And it is better than I remembered. I shouldn't have hated on it how bad I did my whole life. It still doesn't compare to the Vampire Diaries. And he swore it's better. He says I'm gonna like Dean more than I love Damon. Talking about my husband like that, making these assumptions. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me that he could ever think that Dean would overthrow Damon. A human overthrow a vampire. A supernatural hunter beating the supernatural. Watch. Just say I know. Go ahead though. I just got stuck in that. Like literally, I'm looking at my TV. There's a sticker of Damon and Elena just leaning their heads against each other on my TV. On the other side, there's Caroline Forbes looking like a goddess, wearing one of her prom dresses, holding a heart. Or not a prom dress, but one of their school dances. It might not even been that. She was looking fresh though. She was in that blue, the kind of blue and aquamarine shiny. I'm gonna just pull up and show it to y'all. I don't know why I'm describing. Like I can't just get up and show you. There go Caroline Forbes. Clock it. And there goes Damon and Elena. We love them. I love them. Hope y'all love them. If you're Team Stefan, I don't know that this is the place for you. I don't know. This is a Team Damon and a Team Klaus and a Team Catherine household. Now hear me out. I don't respect Catherine's treatment of others, but I respect her survival and her self-respect. and her physique, her beauty, her confidence. She is a Petrova. And the love she comes to find for. Ow! You clawing me, baby. That's okay. I love you. The love she finds for her daughter that she thought she didn't get to have. Oh, her story is just so sad. People don't give her the respect she deserves, and they don't give her the grace she deserves or the understanding for why she is like that. It's not an excuse. It don't make it okay. But there's a reason to every demon. Let me tell you that. There is a reason to every demon, and I believe that full-heartedly. Now, I want to read some pages out of this book that was given to me by my aunt. She claims that her and a male friend of hers wrote this together when they were in the hospital at different times, and they wrote it anonymously. It says by nobody. So I don't know if that's true or if it's someone else and she's claiming it. Either way, it's a good read. It's really interesting. And it kind of brings me back to my psych ward days where I'm just like, some of that did feel like that. And some of this is wild. But it's all worth hearing about. Why you got a claw at my kneecaps? Is your paw okay? Oh. Pause. Okay, unpause. Sorry. I needed to check on my cat. Her claw, it did a weird thing when she was doing the, like, not regular biscuits, but she does, like, claw biscuits, you know, like on a scratching post, except on my legs and my futon. Love that. But she's okay. She's just kind of ouchy. I do still want to take her to the vet, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. The whole thing didn't come out. Because I thought she, like, declawed one of her, this finger bit of her paw. I don't know if we call those separations on their paws fingers or not, whatever. But I thought she, like, pulled one of them out while doing her claw biscuits. She didn't, but she did kind of crack it, and it is definitely giving her pain, so we're definitely going to do something about that. But it's 12:50. No one's gonna answer if I call right now, so we'll have to do it in the morning. Let's read from this. It's called I Can Hear the Sparrows Sing by nobody. Also, it's kind of dingy as fuck. But we're gonna give her grace for how this book was treated, not knowing if it got like this in her care or if it came to her like this. Or if it's been an accumulation of all the people that have owned this copy of the book. And it's written in like a weird format, like they're all journal entries while they were where they were. And I believe the first half is from her friend and the second half is from her. I haven't read up to her part yet. So I don't know. We're just gonna start on the first page for you guys right now. Editor's note, no month, date 20. Third day, millionth day. Day, head almost clear. I guess the body adjusts to the drugs. A more pressing problem is the colored penis. Pencils. So tired, yes. Sleep on it. Good night, all. Add more cheer. Good night, Dr. Frankenstein and Mrs. Martha Castrate, and damn you both to hell. That part's in all caps. It is exactly, I'm reading it exactly how it's written, because I don't know, I want it to be accurate, because this is what someone was thinking as they were going through it. It's really interesting to me. Entry date, June 21st. Dr. Frankenstein, Mrs. Martha Castrate, forget them, strive, find a way around them, never say die. Thought for the day, thoughts for today. Do people really think, or does thinking do people? Thoughts for today. Beware the man who wants to save the world. Thoughts for today. If you take a black man and put him in a white skin, and vice versa, can you tell them apart? Thoughts for today. If all the have-nots who believe they are oppressed changed places with the haves, would they become the oppressors? Thought. I am sane. Entry date June 22nd. Thought for the day. Do the sparrows know I am here? Do those sparrows know I am in here? Felt alive today for the first time in many days. Had an energy. A will. I took this will and watched from the window to out there for a long while today. Yes, out there. Out there, a lush expanse of grass, trees, huge green leaves, branches heavy with sparrows, lake sparrows, sky blue cleansing waters, sparrows singing, freedom. Did they sing for me? I find that part interesting because where I was at DePaul, when you're in the psych ward part of it, the windows, there's not nature to look out through from the windows. There's a wall around it, and it's a white wall. There's some grass, but there's mostly concrete. And if you look over the wall at a certain angle, because the windows are there's a mesh film that they stuck to them in a way. So it's kind of like something you would buy for a bathroom window, You can see, but you can't really see nothing. But it's not at the very top or the very bottom. So I would stand at the corner of my bed. She wants to read too. And try to lean away without falling backwards and calling attention to myself from any of the nurses, and just look out above it. And I still above the wall, which I was able to find a way to see. Still wasn't nature on the other side of that wall. It was one of those really tall parking garages with the levels. Yeah, just saw the top levels of the parking garage. So that was kind of disappointing after all the angles I tried to look over the wall. But yeah. Editor's note. No entry dates for June 23 through 24th. Entry date June 25th. Thought for the day. Resistance. What a day. Today, as if a rubbery-legged infant or a man walking on Hemingway drunk legs, I learned how to walk anew, and in doing so, embraced, since first incarnated here, the first fledgling steps of resistance. How did I accomplish this? I was aware of time and its passing. Yes, I was aware. I mean feet. For here in this mental graveyard time is a ghost who walks upon the dusted bones of shattered dreams, dreams once alive but now mere dust. Dust, I say. But over the past several days I have been, like Pavlov's dog, training myself to become attuned to the sounds and movement outside the door. How their uniqueness signals a change in this otherwise unvarying routine. This serves as undeniable proof, to me, of my newly found awareness. Stop! Just saying I have become aware is not enough. I could be fooling myself. Deluding myself. Or maybe the drugs are defeating me, insidiously altering my life-sustaining sanity and metamorphosing it into my previous dead societal dried oak scarred void of sunlight life of insanity? No, I say 1,000 times no. Enough. No, wait. No, I have to think. Write it down. If Pavlov's dog could write, he could have done so. Yes, prove to myself that I am aware. I can do this. I can do it in minute-by-minute detail. I can? Yes, I can. Yes, I can! Well, here goes nothing. I mean, what have I got to lose, right? Nothing. Nothing. So let's see. The unvaried day, like its predecessors, begins so. I come fog-headed aware to a day beginning overture, which is a key chiming in the door. The door creaks open, exposing a stern-faced nurse who woodenly stands guard, while an orderly, a pimply, apathetic-faced boy about 18 enters carrying a red plastic tray, which in turn holds a full-blown going off to war and need my whitey's military breakfast. Eggs, potatoes, toast, coffee, and this morning, ham. Yesterday was a bacon day. The nurse and the orderly return exactly 20 minutes later. The orderly, after carefully using his fingers as an abacus to count the silverware, departs, tray in hand. The orderly's departure is the nurse's pill cue. She stands me a plastic cup containing an assortment of rainbow drugs. Dr. Frankenstein's mind-numbing, mind-bending brew. She, stern, eagle-eyed, watches while I swallow each and every pill. She leaves, the chiming of the lock snapping her morning final. About 15 minutes later, the urge to use the bathroom, due to Frankenstein's mind-numbing, mind-blending brew. I am sure, especially since regularity wasn't one of my strong suits, threatens, and I go to the bathroom and empty my bowels. A pleasurable, I may add, vacating. I next stretch out to the bed and slip away into a twilight sleep where pleasant dreams await. I am dimly aware here of the sparrows singing, and their songs guide sleep away. A few hours later, I awake to the sound of the daily newspaper scratching the linoleum beneath the door. I go to the bathroom and empty my bladder. Again, a pleasurable vacating. I'm awake, alert now, and stand at the window and think while watching the sparrows carouse amongst the trees. Sometimes I do a hat trick and think, listen to the sparrows and gaze at the blue waters of Lake Sparrow all at the same time. I hear Mozart, see freedom, and think 1,000 nights pass long. But thinking is tiring, especially when ugly thoughts intrude, thoughts all too willing to eat each other. And here I go and lie on the bed and daydream. Time passes in this fashion until once again the key chimes in the door and it slowly creaks open. The changing of metal chairs being brought in rings about me. I know all too well that this clinging brings Frankenstein and Mrs. Martha Castrate. Their use of... I like the way that the editors did this because they stayed at the beginning, but they tried to leave in most of the misspelling when it's fitting, which is part of why I'm stumbling on parts. It's literally the words are not spelled correctly. And also, the way that he punctuates, it's kind of strange. And the random full cap writing, it's some of it reminds me of my own journaling. But yeah, where was I? Today I noticed, and had never noticed this before, that Mrs. Martha Castrate emits a nasal wheeze, a sound akin to a toy choo-choo. No, not yet. Not them yet. Not them. These words are my steps, my first steps. Enough. And like the difference between them writing something in all caps, writing something with an exclamation point, or writing something in all caps with an exclamation point. I'm trying to get the tone right, but it's kind of offbeat, I would call it. I think that'll be all for now, actually. We stopped on I Can Hear the Sparrows Sing 4. And every page is listed that way. Just I can hear it 4, 5, 6, 7, da 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 da. So yeah. The first two after the second paragraph of the page. Probably read some more of this in a later video. Been doing a lot of cleansing in my room. Like, not really a metaphorical cleansing, literally taking things off my walls or moving them around, putting up things that mean more, taking down things that mean something I don't associate with anymore. Like, this whole area is basically blank now. And that was not the case some days ago. As always, thank you for listening. I enjoyed having you here with me and listening to me. I need to use the bathroom, so I'm head out. Also, forget about it. Have a good night or day, whatever time you're watching this. Have a good one. Bye-bye.